Hello, hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. Or I'm my alter ego, Miss Vanity Scarlet. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to my followers over on Patreon. I cannot begin to thank you for all your support, and hopefully I'll continue to make content you'll want to support in the future. So here to do a reaction, and we're doing another set of Kellyoke reactions, and I am super excited about this set of reactions because they are some amazing songs, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Kelly does with them. So we're just gonna dive on in, and we're gonna start with Kelly singing "Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For" by U2.
I have climbed highest mountains, I have run through the fields only to be with you, only to be with you, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for, but I still
Okay, so that was a good introduction to this set of reactions. Was it a super duper belty performance? No. Was it a super duper mind-blowingly amazing vocal? No, but it was still a great vocal. It was a very great interpretation. It was good. It was a very good cover. It was a very good cover for the song. What I did like, well, lots of things I liked. Obviously, I liked her vocals on the song, but I loved the background vocals and how well they blended with Kelly's vocals on this, and I loved how the background vocals, like when they were showing her in the video, like she was performing. She wasn't just sitting here singing. And I've noticed that a number of times through like these home quarantine Kellyoke segments whenever they incorporate her in the videos. Like she's not just singing, like she gives you a performance for these background vocals. She was just in a very somber sort of place emotionally from what she was giving in her visuals there in her video, and I loved it. It was beautiful, and I like how they incorporated all the imagery in the videos of, you know, the riots and the, you know, the protesting and all that stuff that's going on right now. The song kind of does, it's kind of relevant to things that are going on right now in a way, and I like how they chose to incorporate that. You gotta use your platform to, you know, try and incite change. But yeah, I liked it. Vocals were good. The instrumentation was pretty similar to the original. Good. I loved Mr. Guitarist there, the one with the sleeveless. And how you doing, Daddy? But anyway, yes. So overall, great performance. So then now we are gonna jump into our next one, where she is covering Sixpence None the Richer's There She Goes, and this makes me so excited because I've had Sixpence sitting on my list for like 4 or 5 months at this point, meaning to just introduce them to the channel because I adore them. I just love them so much. So I feel like this is just like a good reminder to me and just a good sort of quasi introduction to them to the channel so that I can dive into more of their stuff after the fact. So we're gonna see what Kelly does with There she goes.
There she goes, and there she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. And there she goes, and there she goes again, racing through my brain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. And there she goes, and there she goes again. She calls my name, pulls my chain. No one else could heal my pain, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. There she goes, and there she goes again, chasing down my lane, and I just can't contain this feeling that remains. And there she goes. There she goes, y'all.
Okay, so at first I was a little, not skeptical, but I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about the vocal, because like she started off soft, but like there were a lot of points in like that first verse or chorus. There's not really a whole lot to this song. There's a bunch of there she goes, like it's almost all chorus, really. But that first iteration of the there she goes again, blah blah blah. She was soft and pretty in parts, but there were certain parts where like I could hear her incorporating a little bit more power for, you know, dynamic choices. So rather than just keeping it soft and pretty all the way through, she would, you know, a little bit more chord closure, and she would crank up the power just a little bit in some spots and then dial it back down. And I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first, just because like this song, it's one of those easy breezy, pretty kind of just friendly pop songs, and it really doesn't need a whole lot of strong vocals. The lead vocalist in Sixpence, she has this very soft, easy kind of, that's just her vocal styling. She's not a big belter, she's not a big power singer, at least not from anything I've heard. So the song's just one of those that I didn't think really needed it. But then halfway through I was like, you know what, I like the change. I like that she still kept it kind of just soft and easy for the most part, but there were instances where she dialed it up a little bit, especially there towards the end. It was a lot just more of a fuller vocal than the light, airy kind of vocal, and I liked it. Background vocals, again, fantastic. Again, performing and giving you just face and everything throughout. She's like, you know, I'm gonna milk this. I'm gonna milk my little spot that I got here, and I'm milking for all it's worth. But yeah, it was another good cover. This and U2 were very good, competent covers. Nothing super mind-blowingly amazing, but they were good covers, good Kellyoke segments. Alright, so next we're getting into Kelly singing Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics, so we're just gonna dive on in.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Hold your head up. Keep your head up. Hold your head up.
Love that falsetto.
Keep your head up. Hold your head up. Keep your head up. Hold your head up. Keep your head up. disagree. I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of this. Love that song.
Yes, yes. Okay, so now that is one song, like, I would have loved to have the full performance of that. Like how she's done with a couple songs during quarantine, like she did with Trisha Yearwood and a couple things. Like, I would have loved the full-on performance of that song because they were giving me my life. Like, the instrumentation of it, the vocals on it. Like, this song, I could see you incorporating those stronger vocals a lot easier than I could with, like, There She Goes. And I like how, like, the instrumentation, as it started to pick up, started to get a lot more, like, rock-ish in element, and that allowed her vocals to escalate and get to that point. Because in the original Eurythmics version, obviously, they're not belting their face off, anything like that, but the way they kind of incorporated some of the guitars in the background made it a lot more rock-ish, and it gave her the pathway, the license to take it, to escalate her vocals to that point. And I loved it. I love how, like, the keep your head up, like, it started it very kind of like a falsetto light place, and then it just gradually got to more and more of a belt, head belt, and I was just like, yes. And then we just did a whole full chorus in that, up the octave, sweet dreams are made of these. And we just kept it up the octave that whole time, and it was beautiful. Although I will say the video editing at that point when she was singing up the octave, at times I feel like they weren't quite using the right video from the part that she recorded, if that makes sense. Like, she's singing these vocals all the way up here, which requires a little bit of effort, but like the video clips they were showing her to sync up with that, she was completely just chill and just stone cold face, just like, so it felt like they took a video clip from when she was singing it down the octave earlier in the song and accidentally spliced it in there at that particular point, because, like, just the level of vocal she was giving to the face that she was giving in the video at that point just didn't sync up for me. But vocals were fantastic. Again, background vocals were fire. Background vocals giving me all my life. She's performing. She's not just sitting here, singing. She's giving you a full-on performance. And the instrumentation of it was just loved it. And I don't know who the guitarist is. The same one from the very first video when he was sleepless and whatnot. But Daddy, how you doing? I mean, it is Father's Day, so I guess I can call you Daddy if you want me to, but whatever, that's fine. Alright, so we're gonna move on before, I start saying things. So next up, we've got her covering Etta James's I'd Rather Go Blind. I feel like she did this in a fan request in one of her concerts. I know she's covered some Etta James song. I feel like it was this one. I might be wrong, but I feel like it was this one. And I've seen...
It's June 19th, and today's an important day in our country's history. But let's be honest, it's also a day many people didn't know much about before George Floyd's death and the tough conversations that have followed. June 19th, or Juneteenth as the holiday is called, is the longest running Black holiday in America, and many consider it America's second Independence Day. And with that in mind, I'm kicking off the show with a beautiful song by an incredible Black artist that I love and definitely am inspired by. This is I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James.
Something told me it was over.
I need the full experience.
When I saw you and that girl talking, something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl, cry, cry. When I saw you and that girl walking around, I would rather go blind, boy, to see you walk away from me, child, alone.
on, band. Woo is right. Woo is right. Girl. These vocals, these are the vocals I needed. These are the vocals I needed. The first couple songs in this reaction were cute. They were fine. They were great. But these are the vocals I needed right now from Miss Clarkson. Yes. Oh, girl. I love all the sides of Kelly. I love when she does the rocker thing. I love when she does her country thing. I love her pop thing and all that kind of stuff. And I love her soulful bluesiness. And this song just gave you all the soul and all the blues just from the instrumentation alone, but then her vocals on top of it. Funnily enough, I was just talking about this song the other day. Yesterday. I went to go visit my friend just to check in on him. Still social distancing and all that kind of stuff. But we started singing, playing around, doing a little karaoke and whatnot at his house. And I sang Tennessee Whiskey. And his grandmother, who was off listening, she came by and she mentioned how she's also an instrumentalist and whatnot. And she mentioned that someone had brought to her attention that the guitar and just the instrumentation of Tennessee Whiskey was almost identical to Etta James's I'd Rather Go Blind. So then I immediately put on Etta James's I'd Rather Go Blind, and then before, like, if I jump in before she starts singing, like, it literally was Tennessee Whiskey. I was like, holy crap, that is uncanny how much you sound alike. I don't remember why I brought that up. I don't remember what my thought process was. But yeah, that's the thing that happened. Because Tennessee Whiskey, bluesy, all that kind of stuff. So bluesy vocals there. So that kind of reminded me of this, obviously, because it's pretty much the same thing. So I love how Kelly incorporated her bluesy vocals on this, and it was just beautifully done. So much power, so much resonance in her voice, so much just raw, natural soul. And it's just like, so good, so good. These are the vocals I was looking for. Alright, so then next up, we've got a commercial, and I'm going to sit here and vamp and try to distract you guys from the fact that I'm waiting for this commercial to finish. Okay, the commercial's finished. And now we are going to react to her singing Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. So one of my friends, Anthony, reached out to me on Instagram last week, and he was like, hey, I don't know if it's already on your list or not, but Kelly just covered Aretha Franklin for Kellyoke, and as you would say, it was delicious. And I'm like, that's all you had to say. All you had to say was Kelly covered Aretha, and I'm there. I've heard Kelly cover a number of Aretha songs in her career, but I don't believe I've heard her cover Chain of Fools, so this is going to be a nice introduction. So I'm just going to dive on into this.
What's up, y'all? I'm back from Montana and holding it down here in LA now. It's a complicated time. It's a time to reflect, listen, and connect with each other, all right? But sometimes we also need to balance it and take time for ourselves. I'm happy to say that my band and I, my band Y'all that is, and I've continued to make some fun music. So check out our latest karaoke tune, Chain of Fools, by the one, the only, Aretha Franklin.
Chain, 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 chain of fools. For 5 long years, I thought you were my man. Nothing but your fool. Oh, you treated me your loving is much too strong. I'm added to your chain, 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 chain of fools.
Yes,
I love some
man.
Aretha. Hope I did it some kind of justice.
Okay, so this was another one where she was giving me the vocals that I needed, that I required for this Kellyoke segment. Do I feel like she probably could have done a little bit more with it vocally? Sure, she could have done a little bit more belting. She could have been a little bit more, powerful in places and whatnot. But it was still a fantastic vocal. She still gave me everything. Like, she gave me a very great cover of Aretha. I feel like I've seen her cover Aretha in other ways where she's changed things up more and she's added a little bit more Kelly stank on it. So I feel like she could have done that here as well, but it was still a very great vocal, a very great Aretha cover, and I dug it. I dug it. I liked the intro that she did on those last two videos, I guess ever since she went back over to LA. And I like that. I like how she was speaking, again, using your platform to speak on issues that need to be spoken about. So I loved how before I'd Rather Go Blind, she was speaking on just giving you a little bit of history about Juneteenth, because earlier today, coincidentally, I saw a post that someone had put on Twitter, someone who I guess is famous, I never heard of before a day in my life, but I saw, through the grapevine, and, he had made mention something along the lines of, Juneteenth isn't a real thing, so stop trying to colorize the month of June, signed sincerely the gays. And I was like, bitch, don't put my name on that. Don't you put the gays' name on that. That's signed sincerely you. That is some complete and utter bull. It's like, don't you put my name on that. And then, looking into things, no. Juneteenth, like Kelly said, it's one of the longest celebrated African American holidays. It was, from what I remember, what I put in my post, it was first celebrated back in like 1860 something or something like that. And then June was also Black Music Month, or African American Music Month. It was dawned that during, I think, the Jimmy Carter administration back in the 50s or something like that. And then it was named Gay Pride Celebration, Gay Pride Month, in 2000 under the Clinton administration to honor the Stonewall riots back in '69. But before it was Gay Pride Month, it was Juneteenth, Black Music Month. So it was a lot of black stuff before it was gay stuff. And not saying that has to be one or the other. I don't see why, multiple people can't celebrate multiple things at the same time. I don't see why that's such an issue. I mean, hell, look over in December. We got Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and all those other holidays that happen there all at the same time, and it's no issue. So I don't see why it's an issue to celebrate Juneteenth at the same time as Gay Pride Month. So, but I'm gonna get off my little rant, my little tirade here. My point was that I liked how she was using her platform to give a little history lesson and say, hey, this is what's happening right now. And if it wasn't for George Floyd, there'd be a lot of people who didn't realize this, who didn't know that this was actually a thing. But it's actually a thing, and it's been a thing for a very long time. So, I'm going to honor this by singing something by one of my favorite Black artists, and also kind of goes hand in hand with the whole Black Music Month being June as well. So I like that aspect of it. But okay, so I've talked. Let's get to my rankings, because that's what I do. So if I had to rank these Kellyoke reactions, starting from the bottom, working my way up to my favorite, I'd have to say at the bottom would probably be There She Goes. Nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just that there was nothing particularly amazing about it for me. It was just a fine cover. good vocals. Then still haven't found what I'm looking for. Kind of the same issue with There She Goes, where it wasn't anything mind-blowingly amazing. There wasn't anything mind-blowingly different. It was just a good solid vocal. But it wasn't anything particularly inspirational about it from that standpoint. Then I would go Sweet Dreams, because I feel like that, well, actually no. Next I'll go Chain of Fools, then Sweet Dreams, and then I'd Rather Go Blind in the first spot. It's just the vocals she was giving me on I'd Rather Go Blind were just top tier, and I'm just like, yes, Queen, you better serve these children these vocals, because like, you got them, so you got them, you better flaunt them, give them to me, give me all these vocals. But yeah, that's pretty much how I rank things, but they were all great performances in their own right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little series of Kellyoke reactions. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications so be notified when all my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you. Mwah. And before you guys go, a shout out to my amazing patrons. I can't begin to express how thankful I am for your support. And if you guys would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I love you guys. Hey guys, don't forget to check out the playlist on my channel for all of your favorite reaction videos. We've got playlists for Morissette Amon, Kelly Clarkson, Katrina Velarde, Tori Kelly, and more, so be sure to check them out.